Dataframe and read_CSV function, Python. I'm using the pandas library to make a simple program. First of all, I have a CSV file called small.csv, which contains the following structure. On my main function, I have the following code. The explanation of the main function is the following. Depending on the parameters that I pass to the load_data function, you will have to load the data from my CSV file in one way or another. These are the possible arguments and the function that they develop. Input file, the name of the CSV file that contains the data. Delimiter, the character that delimits the data. By default, the function must use the comma character, nan, a list of strings that will be treated as missing values. Any occurrence in the input file of one of the strings in this list will be interpreted as nan. The default value will be none, header, a Boolean flag that will indicate if the file contains a header, true, or if not, false. By default, it must be true. Var names, a list of strings that will be used as variable names only in the case where header is valid false. The default value will be none. Pref, a string that will be used as a prefix for the names of the variables only in the case where header is valid false and the list has not been defined. Var names. For example, if pref equals x, the names of the variables will be x0, x1, x2, etc. The default value will be var_. My load_data function. This function is responsible for displaying the data based on the parameters we have entered, varying the output depending on the case. One of the cases that I have to evaluate is the following. If header equals false and the variable varnames, which indicates the name of the column, is not passed to that function, null, I have to assign a numerical value from 0 to the number of columns that have, that is, 0, 1, 2, up to max columns. Also in this case I would have to add the prefix that we pass to that number that defines the column. In this case it would be call_. The result will be the following one. Here is my problem. In the case I have commented that we have to add a prefix to each of the numeric columns, with a variable prefix, I could do it by hand, that is, to each of the elements of my column list, add the string call_. However, I think it is wrong, since I do not use the prefix option that can be passed through the read_CSV function. I have tried it nevertheless, and it does not do it correctly. This is my result. And as you can see, although I pass the prefix argument to read_CSV function, it ignores it. In addition, another one of the doubts is that since I am calculating the numerical value that I have to assign to the columns, I do it modifying the data frame that already has been generated, and I believe that it is not the most optimal form to realize it.
This works well for me on v0.21. Another trick, if this still doesn't work, would be to use add_prefix.
Yes.